Subscribe now and press the bell icon. Never miss an update.
Hello friends, welcome to the channel DevDBQA. In today's video, we will see TestNG helper attributes, in which first of all we will see depends on methods attribute, then we will see enabled attribute, and at last we will see timeout attribute. So if you are new to this channel, then please subscribe and press the bell icon to get regular updates. On this channel you can get videos related to manual testing, automation testing and programming languages as well. So let's start with our today's video. So this is our first class in which we are having two test cases, first test case and second test case. So in the second test case, we are logging to an application or any website, and in the first test case, we are verifying an element on the web page. So if we execute this first class, then the test cases will be executed in the alphabetical order of the test case name. So first of all, this first test case will be executed, and after that the second test case will be executed. So let us run it and let us see what is the output first. So in the console we can see that two test run are there and two passed, and first of all it has printed verifying element on the web page, and after that it has printed login to application. So the sequence is in the alphabetical order of the test case name, right? So but in the second test case we are logging to the application, and in the first test case we are verifying an element on the web page. So we can only verify an element on the web page only after the login to that application or the web page. So it means before executing this first test case, we should execute the second test case, and only after execution of the second test case, then we can execute the first test case. So it means this first test case is dependent on the second test case. So in TestNG, there is a helper attribute by which we can define that a test case is dependent on the other test case. So here the first test case is dependent on the second test case. So we have to write in this test, the helper attribute is depends on methods equals to, in curly brackets and in double quotes we have to give the test case name. So the first test case is dependent on the second test case, so we will give the name of second test case in the arguments. So this will tell the TestNG that this first test case is dependent on this test case. So before execution of the first test case, the second test case should be executed. So TestNG will then go to the second test case and execute it, and after this execution is completed, then only the first test case will be executed. So this is the helper attribute depends on methods. So we can give multiple methods here if we have to execute the test case after multiple methods or test cases. So let us save it and run it, and let us see what will be the sequence of execution this time. Here as you can see, first of all it has printed login to application, and after that it has printed verifying element on web page. It means first of all it has executed the second test case, and after that the first test case was executed. So this means depends on methods tells TestNG that first this method should be executed, and only after execution of this method the method will be executed. So this is one of the helper attribute by which we can decide the execution of the test cases. So we can define the sequence in which the execution of the test cases will be done. So now let us move to the second class. In second class we are having three test cases: first test case, second test case and third test case. Right, so let us assume that we have a scenario in which we have to skip the execution of second test case. So how we can skip the execution of second test case, in the previous videos we have seen that we can use exclude or include to include or exclude a test case from the test execution. So that was one of the method by which we can exclude a test case from the test execution. But here, using the helper attribute, we can also exclude a test case from the test execution. So for that, we have to skip the second test case. So in the test, we will write enabled equals to false. So what it will do, it will skip the second test case from the test execution because we have given false value in the enabled attribute, right? So it means we have disabled this test case from the test execution. Let us save it and check the output. The second test case should not be executed. In the console, as you can see, only the first test case and the third test case are executed. The second test case was not executed because we have disabled the second test case, right? If we provide true value here, now let us see what will be our output. So this time the second test case should be executed and the statement should be present in the console. So now as you can see, the three test cases are executed: first test case, second test case and third test case. So using this enabled attribute, we can enable or disable a test case from the test execution. So now let us see the next attribute, which is timeout. So in our second class, we are having three test cases: first test case, second test case and third test case. So let us assume that there is some functionality that is written in the third test case that takes more time in execution. So we have to increase our wait time so that the third test case is passed and the functionality is completely executed. Right, so one way is to increase the implicit wait, but when we increase the implicit wait, that implicit wait will be increased for all the test cases, right? So that is not the best practice to increase the implicit wait. So in TestNG there is one helper attribute which is timeout. So we can specify a timeout after which the test case will be failed. So the TestNG wait till that timeout is completed, and after that timeout duration is complete, the TestNG will mark that test case as failed, right? So how we can use the timeout attribute? Here at the test we have to write timeout equals to, and here we have to give the duration in the milliseconds. So let us give 5 seconds, right? So this is the timeout attribute and the value is 5 seconds or 5000 milliseconds. So TestNG will wait for this much duration for this test case to execute, and after this duration is complete, the TestNG will check that the test case is executed or not. If the test case is not executed, then it will mark this test case as failed. Or if the test case is executed, then it will go to the next test case for execution. So this is the helper attribute by which we can define a timeout for particular test case in TestNG. Right, so these are the helper attribute. First of all, we have seen depends on method attribute, then we have seen enabled attribute, and at last we have seen timeout attribute. So for this enabled attribute, there are questions that are asked in many interviews that the interviewer can ask that how you can skip a test case from the test execution. So one way is to exclude the test case from the testng XML file, and the other way is to use this enabled attribute. So if we give the value as false here, then the test case will be skipped from the execution. Many candidates will say that we can comment out this test case or we can remove this test case from our class, but that is not the smart answer. The answer is we can use this enabled attribute to skip the test case from the test execution. Or the other way is to using the testng XML file. In the testng XML file, we can use exclude for skipping a test case from the test execution. So that's all for today's video. If you like my video, then please hit the like button. Please subscribe and press the bell icon to get regular updates. And if you have any suggestions, then please comment in the comment section. Thank you.